Hi everyone. So we got us a fun little restoration project in the shop today. A little auction I won on eBay. It's a six-string banjo. Um, we'll talk more about this coming up. Stay tuned. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. So what we have here is it's a banjo. It looks pretty old actually, and it's actually what's called a Banjitar. So it's it's got six strings like a guitar, except that it's got a pot and a head like a banjo. So now can already tell, a couple of things here I'm gonna have to do to it. One of the things I'm gonna have to tighten a couple of lugs, um, but I mean that's nothing. So it's got this pretty sweet handmade neck, right? So I think it was probably originally a five-string banjo that somebody converted to a six-string. Now there's a little dealio on the headstock. Says K on it. I don't think this is. The body might have been a K banjo, but it looks like based on what I can see here, it could be closed back, open back. This neck looks pretty good, but it is definitely unfinished. It's definitely rough. Now, honestly, it's about as thick as a baseball bat. So I think what I'm going to do with this thing, um, the tuners are pretty rusted out, and they're really almost useless. And now that I'm kind of getting into this thing, this resonator feels pretty loose, so that screw is probably a little bit looser than it should be. Um, you can see uh, the neck, I mean, all the way through. It goes homemade. It looks like this little tailpiece here is homemade as well. And it looks like they probably took a five-string bridge and filed some additional slots in it, um, to make it a six string. I do like this tailpiece. I am going to keep it. For the most part, I'm going to keep the neck, but what I'm going to do though is I'm going to get a little bit of wood filler and I'm going to fill in some of oh, there's a little piece of cloth in there. Interesting. So, so I'm going to get a little bit of wood filler. I'm going to fill in and smooth out some of these lines, make it a little bit more even. And then I'm going to just start with my 80 grit sandpaper and start sanding this neck down. Um, Probably sand it all the way down to about 320 or 400, and then um, I'm going to put a little coat of stain on it. I'm thinking I've got this nice gun stock finish here that I really like. I'll go ahead and clean up this pot. The head seems pretty good, so I don't think I'm gonna need to replace the head or any of that stuff. Um, I'll clean up the tailpiece a little bit. Probably throw some Brasso on there just to shine it up, but otherwise I do like that patina. Maybe put a little oil on the fretboard. It's got a it's got a 25-inch scale length, which I like, because that's roughly in those normal guitar. You think like maybe a Martin or something like that. But uh, but anyway, these strings are pretty rusted out. I'm gonna go ahead and replace those. I've got a new set of strings coming. like I said, these tuners, they're pretty unusable. Otherwise, I would try and hang on to them, but I don't think I'm going to be able to salvage them. So I'm going to go ahead and just replace those with some new tuners that I've got coming tomorrow. So I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and get started on some stuff tonight. See if I can go ahead and start loosening these strings up and go ahead and cut them off um, before I get some tetanus here. Um, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, we'll get these strings off. We'll and probably go ahead and start some of the cleanup on it, um, and tighten those lugs. I hadn't decided. I hadn't decided whether I'm gonna keep this little placard, this little K placard, or not. Looks like it's riveted on there, so I might have no choice unless I really want to just kind of get aggressive and pop it off. Um, which I don't know, I might, because I think I would like to kind of burn my own logo on this. So yeah, here in the CQR shop, um, we do. I will not normally buy a guitar that's pre-made or ready-made just because I have so much fun building. But I do occasionally take the restoration project, and I figure this actually will make a fun little restoration project. Um, probably take me a couple of days to do by the time I a do some of the honeydew around the house, and b just given time for things like wood filler and stain, and then clear coat. I'll probably go ahead and put some polyurethane on there, give it a nice high gloss shine. But yeah, I think this is going to be fun. So, like I said, go ahead and loosen these strings before I start snipping on them, just because I really don't want one of them to pop and poke me in the eye. And wasn't planning on getting tetanus tonight. Probably not tomorrow either. I mean, it just doesn't sound like it'd be a lot of fun. Plus, the wife, I'm sure, doesn't want to deal with me going to the emergency room. So yeah, let's get into this thing and just kind of see what we can do now. I probably won't video the whole thing, just because um, I do get limited to 30 minutes of record time. So so I'll probably only video parts of it, and then throw some little transitions in there, right? And so yeah, right now we're uh, we're cutting the strings, and then we'll kind of remove this thing and see how it goes from there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get after this thing. Oh, okay. So little finish nail to couple of little finish nails to hold these strings, and then that tailpiece looks like actually three little finish nails. Okay, so they put ball in or loop end strings on this. I've got some ball ends that I've got common that I really think will be better for this tailpiece. Um, but yeah, we're gonna get after it. Get this thing taken apart here and just really kind of see what we got. So stay with me. All right, so we've gotten the Banjitar apart, and now I kind of know what I'm going to get myself in for. So first things first. Found it kind of interesting. So this resonator pot, right? So you can see where um, it originally had like four basically lug areas where with a normal banjo pot like they use now, there would be metal brackets and you would just screw down into those. But instead, what whoever originally did this thing, what they did was they kind of put this hook in here with a slot head screw, which is kind of neat because when you get it on, um, you turn it in such a way that you can kind of loop it around the tension pole there in the neck. Now, the way this neck is made, there is no way really to adjust the action. You can't really adjust the tension on this neck at all. So how it sits is how it sits. I did go ahead and just kind of hand tighten a couple of those loose lugs, and then if I can if I can figure out how I'm going to try and tighten that tailpiece a little bit. The way this neck is in this pot, there's no way that I'm getting it out without having to tear everything apart. So we'll just um, we'll just take it as it is. Now it means I'm gonna have to be very careful so that I don't break that head, which that head is in great condition. So what I'm gonna do though is I've got some sustainable wood filler here. So things like that, I'm going to take and I'm going to just kind of fill those in with the wood filler, let it harden. Um, might see if I can kind of trim off that piece of cloth there. Um, I've got some scissors around here somewhere that maybe will do a little bit better job. But anyway, see if I can trim off that piece of cloth, get some wood filler in here. I probably won't fill in everything, but just the really obvious stuff. I still hadn't decided whether I'm going to remove that K logo or not. Um, might not be too hard to do. Um, if I can pop those rivets out, then maybe put it back on there with a couple of like pick guard screws or something like that. But anyway, I'll deal more with that tomorrow when the new tuners get here. Um, so so with the wood, like this pot, I'm gonna or yeah this resonator pot here. I'm gonna go ahead and got some old English here. I'll wipe it out, give it a good cleaning. These tuners, um, if you can see, they're pretty rusty, um, and they're not gonna move hardly at all when I go because I did try and tune it up when I pulled it out of the box. And these screws, which they're slot head anyway, and I don't really like those, but they're really rusty. Um, so I'm gonna put something a little bit more modern on there. Um, got some Brasso here. Like I said, I'll probably go ahead and shine the tailpiece, shine it up. I'll probably leave like the patina, but just kind of get a little bit better looking. And then once the wood filler that I put in, once it dries, then I'll go ahead and I've got my sandpaper 80, 120, 220, and 320. I'll go ahead and take it to this neck real good and um, and get it nice and smooth. Then I'm thinking, um, I gotta find it here. I don't like that early American, but I do have some stain here that I really like. No, it's probably going to be the last one that I reach for. That cherry's pretty good, but that's not what I'm in the mood for. Special walnut, nope. That's polyacrylic, which is good. I need it. Classic oak might look good on it. Espresso is going to be way too dark. Well, of course, it's hiding back here. I've got all kinds of stains around here. Jacobian's too dark. Here's what I'm looking for. This gun stock finish here, which I'm actually going to use that on a couple other projects I've got lined up. So anyway, um, we're going to keep working, and I'll update you before too long. Okay, so we've gotten her apart and we've gotten her cleaned up a little bit. You can see I've got my wood filler in place. Went ahead and filled in the old screw holes from those old tuning pegs. Um, Hit the tailpiece up with a little bit of Brasso. Now she shines again. Um, so went ahead and took some Old English and really cleaned up that resonator pot. Now she's shining again, so we'll just kind of let that dry. So um, went ahead um, went ahead and popped that K badge off. Right, so it's right here. I think I can probably salvage it. Um, Went ahead and filled in the holes with a little bit of wood fill. Um, Actually, no, I didn't. I need to do that. But while this wood fill dries um, and cures, which it's just about, I think I'm going to go ahead and burn my logo into the headstock. Um, just because I like to do that. And then, like I said, I'll probably go ahead, um, and put that K badge back on. Although I might move it to the back. We'll see, and probably pop it on with a couple of little screws because that thing was put on there with a couple of finishing nails, which whatever. But yeah, so then from there we'll get to the sanding because I'm really hoping this evening to get to a place where I can go ahead and start working on a stain, um, because I want to let that stain really sit on there. Um, you're supposed to give it 24 hours before you put this water-based polyacrylic. Although I am looking at this wipe-on poly, which I really do like. Um, but yeah, so we'll see we'll see how this goes. But anyway, stay tuned. This is going to conclude really part one, and then I'll do another part showing up or showing how I finish off the process. So thanks for your time. Hope you're enjoying this restoration project. I know I'm already starting to have some fun with it, and I've only been really messing with it for really a couple of hours total. Probably less than half an hour of video time. But don't forget to hit that like button, ring that bell, and give me a subscribe. Leave some comments, ask some questions. We'll be seeing you on the flip side.